Life is structured in a way. First 25 years is your formative year. Second 25 years is going to be your years of settling, success, relevance, and significance. All these four put together in your second 25 years. Now, that second 25 years are your best years. You don't mess with from 25 years to 50 years. You don't mess.
Good day, viewers, and welcome to Gen Z Diaries right here on InfoQuest Media. Today, here with us, we have, should I say, the youth favorites, or he's one of the most popular personalities we have here in the country. I guess by now you are wondering who it is, right? Well, he is the head pastor of Alabaster International Ministry, and he's also the founder of Alabaster International Ministry. Good evening, sir.
I salute you, my darling.
How are you doing?
Bless yourself.
We are glad to have you yet another episode of Gen Z Diaries, where we talk about things I wish I knew before I turned 30.
Wow.
Yes. And today on our episode, we are talking more about, I think in our previous episode, we talked a lot about marriage and the things to consider when it comes to listening to your parents. Correct. And also what you feel like you believe this is what I want. So today we are talking about relationship in general. So, before you start school, especially university, you are told you are supposed to focus on your books. But sometimes when you get to the university, you meet somebody, you feel like, okay, there is a connection, there are certain things you feel like I like about this person. But then you also have the idea to focus on your books. Now the question is, how are you even guaranteed that even after school, the person you meet is the right person? How are you even guaranteed that you've not missed your person in school? Because you focus so much on books, and now you don't know whether you are actually guaranteed that even after school, you make the right decision when it comes to relationship.
I think that the last episode, I spoke on certain nuggets that I'm going to derive from and, put up a submission. But let me greet your audience, and it's such an honor to be here. The last episode, I talked about perception, intuition, and I'm going to also remind our audience of discernment. Okay. Yeah, so perception, intuition, discernment, and I am going to derive these because the moment you meet, I like the way the modern word or the contemporary word when they say like my crush. Well, your crush brings certain things you perceive. Your intuition tells you something. You discern something. So I will not use the contemporary word. I will use the will of God. But that is how it will come, And so it's going to be timing. It's going to be I will not talk about feeling because the perception, intuition, it all works around feeling. But it's a prompting that comes to you. And so I think that you need to be listening to your innermost being and all that. However, I will have to also say that there are so many juicy, well-packaged gentlemen and ladies that look right. I have a manuscript that it's almost going through printing to become a book, and it's 31 questions every single person must accurately answer before they accept a proposal or before they make a proposal.
Okay.
And one of those questions is, how serious is the person?
Great question.
How serious is the person? Because oftentimes people just want to have fun. And we are living in that generation where seriousness or purpose is not the agenda. It's just, one day out. Because I'm living in a generation where a person meets somebody on Facebook, they go on a date, and they are meeting for the first time, and they want to have sex the first time. Okay. So it talks to you about how frivolous, fickle-minded this generation generally is. And so if you are going to make it safely, I mean, your question is a very integral question. How do I balance it? How do I know that this guy is the right person so I don't leave him behind thinking that my choice
After school
is ahead of me? How do I? The Holy Spirit that lives in you will let you know. But I know that a lot of people watching as well now, how am I going to hear the Holy Spirit? So I'm making it easy for you. Intuition, perception, discernment.
so great. Talking about the discernment, is a popular word for Christians, the discernment. Sometimes you feel within you, like the signs, the things you are seeing around the person, you feel like, no, this is a good sign. But then, aside yourself, there are people around you guys. There's something they say, the universe always bring people together.
Right.
Then, aside the discernment, there are people around you who feels like this is not the right decision. But within yourself, within your spirit, you know that this is the person. But the people around, sometimes your parents, your friends, your pastors, and a lot of people feel like, no, this is not the right decision. But yourself, your spirit, the signs, everything you are seeing shows that this is the person. Such situation, when if you are talking about the discernment, such situation, how are you going to deal with it?
Very simple. If you are a Christian, pray about it. Once you have your inner peace, make your decision. When I was getting married, my brothers, and I'm the last born to 11 children of my father. 12, the 12th one was adopted. So I'm the last born of 12 people. Now, if I got married before almost about 8 of them got married, definitely the advice is you are too young, 22. What's the rush? Why do you want to get married? And to this person, and all kinds of stuff will come up. But what we should be able to understand, once I have the inner peace, I go for it. It's been 25 years. After 25 years, I have no regrets. It's fun. It's exciting. We have grown in love over the time to respect each other, to honor each other and all that. And so once I have that inner peace, I'm good to go. But sometimes the inner peace can be there with red flags around.
Great.
So we don't just look at the inner peace. Just like you can use just one ingredient to cook a good delicacy. You need other ingredients to come to a summation or a culmination to be able to get to what we're doing. So definitely, whilst we are looking at your inner peace, we are also looking at the red flags.
Thank you, sir. So the key word here is inner peace. Sometimes you feel like, oh, this is the person. Everybody is saying this is the person. But then what your spirit also tells you, are you having the inner peace about the person, the decision you are making? Are you having the inner peace? So if you are listening if you just join us, so we are talking about relationship, the kind of choices to make when it comes to your personal choice, and the advice from other angles, from your parents, from your guidance, from how to go about your books, how to go about your relationship, how to balance everything, how to discern. Okay, so our prophet said something about red flags, which I know that a lot of people know about red flags. Some prophet, sometimes when you meet somebody, you see the red flags. Clearly, you can see that in yourself. You feel like, oh, let me try and change this person. Let me try and, do certain things. The person will change by himself or by herself. Now, maybe you've invested a lot. Still, the red signs are there. You can see there is no change. What are the things that we need to consider when it comes to those things?
I mean, there are when we talk about red flags, it simply means there is a no-go area. It doesn't matter the investment that I've gone in, pull out. Because, when it comes to marriage and relationship, I think that we've seen too much in these few years from other people, because we do love talk, relational issues like singles round table, ladies night, gentlemen only, So it has brought us a lot of red flags. Are red flags. You are a person who forgets your birthday, forgets your graduation, you know.
So women do that a lot when you forget their birthdays, like special occasions.
No, but how can you forget somebody's birthday?
So it's not our fault, please. If you are watching this, Prophet is even saying it. It's not our fault. You cannot forget your girlfriend or your wife or whatever it is, even before the person become your wife or your husband. Special days are special days.
What is important to me should be important to you. My interest should be your interest. Yeah. So if you forget about my birthdays, anniversaries, you don't turn up at my graduation, matriculation, and all that, you have an excuse all the time. These are red flags. You get angry and apologize and cry. You do it again. You apologize and cry. These are red flags. The next moment you will not be crying. The next moment you will be throwing your hands. So then, there are certain things that are no-go areas. There are light, maybe let me say yellow flags. Those ones we can compromise and stuff like that. A person has a body odor, a person has a, mouth odor. We can deal with that. Person doesn't know is, unkempt. Those ones, beauty is in the shop. We can get it. We can be able to, decorate that person, polish, bring them to speed, to stuff like that. But the red ones, no. It doesn't, we stopped the wedding. That was just a week to the wedding date.
Wow.
Everything was ready. Wedding cake, wedding dresses, rings, everything. Invitation cards have gone out. Aunties, uncles, relatives, cousins have come from overseas because of the wedding. We stopped the wedding.
So the question is, before you stop the wedding, the man and the woman, they didn't see all the...
They didn't see all that until we stopped the wedding. Then the fight broke among them. And then all the crazy stuff started. The name the young man said he was not his name.
Wow.
He said he was a mining engineer. He lives at Spinters Road. He works with a mining company in Obuasi. Apparently he was a driver's mate. Because so then we went into background checks. So, I was praying, and 1 week to the wedding, the Holy Spirit just said, stop the wedding. Young people, contemporary, they feel like, so just like the guys say, somebody stop wedding, I go like, well, you can go to the registry, but not here. Lady wants to be married in church at the altar. So then they said, well, let's give it some time. Maybe he will change his mind. Then a fight broke out, misunderstanding. Then we even got to know that the wedding dress, the reception, the food, all that they have invested, including the rings, the shoes, the best man, bridesmaid, all these people. This guy had not a cent in it, including the bride price, the dowry, they didn't have a cent in it. So I asked the lady, where did the money come from? She's managing her auntie's hotel at East Legon. That's where the money came from.
Wow, so she's using her auntie's money to fund.
So you see, an opportunist is romantic. A romantic opportunist.
An opportunist is romantic. Keep that in your head. Well, so as Prophet said, red flag is red flag. Just like driving, when you meet traffic lights, red means stop, which means no go area. You have to stop. You have to wait till you get the green light before you move. It's just like basically like relationship. Red flags are red flags. It's a no go area.
People will not take it as simple as how you said it. Okay. Like you said, I love him, I have invested in him, I want to be with him. And oftentimes in my generation, he satisfied me in bed. They are already sleeping. So he satisfied me in bed, or numuri, or they pay me, I'm a thinker, Now I'm a realist. I'm not here, or be or beb jinchim naman and iswe so red flags, I don't think it will be maybe pebem or bumi or family or bumi, all those kind of funny, crazy stuff. Don't follow madness and go and marry a psychopath. You know, because many people are bleeding in their marriages and their homes right now.
So, Prophet, in conclusion, as we started with the relationship, your parents telling you focus on your books, and you feel like, okay, I'm in the university now, I've met somebody. Now, in all of this, how are you able to balance the two? Focusing on your books, meeting the love of your life in school, how are you going to balance these two?
I mean, it is a matter of prioritizing, it's a matter of planning, proper plan. That's one thing that a lot of people do not attach to relationships. I mean, love, and the love without a plan, you know. People can be in a relationship for 11 months and there is no plan. The young man does not have any definite plan. How can you be dating somebody for 2 years and there is no plan on the table? Somebody told me that also and I'm so so, you know, you want to do this, then there must be a definite plan. You are going out with somebody for 8 years. Person have not, you know, submitted anything on the table vividly. I want to marry you on this date, on that date. This is my plan. That's my clear vision and all that. So, I mean, you are focusing on your books, but with a plan. You have somebody in your life, but with a plan. Life is structured in a way. First 25 years is your formative years. Second 25 years is going to be your years of settling, success, relevance, and significance. All these four put together in your second 25 years. Now, that second 25 years are your best years. You don't mess with from 25 years to 50 years. You don't mess. Because by the time you are 50 years, that is going to be your settling years in terms of building your legacy. That's where one word describes you. And oftentimes, a lot of people go there single. By the time most people enter 50 without spouses, career women, fulfilled, you know, men, and all that kind of thing. So there must be a plan. And I'm telling you the reason why a lot of people, you know, be married, have 2, 3 children, divorced by 50. The plan was weak. The plan was not solid, you know. So your first 25 years, formative years, going to school, settling down, your first degree or PhD and all that. Second 25 years, the jokes, the play, the frivolousness, the frivolity, it has to leave you. This will be as will Jimmy Kakra. But 25 will come Jimmy into any, so it's time for serious business. Okay. You know, you have a child, that is where they are going to look up to you and all that. So, you know, so the balance is proper planning, prioritizing what comes first. That is where we should be able to put life together.
Thank you, Prophet. Personally, I've learned a lot today, especially the word planning. You know, you meet people and then you have to plan ahead. What is the purpose of this relationship? What is the purpose of this friendship? And I believe I'm not the only person who have learned a lot today. Prophet has said a lot. Planning, your inner peace, prioritizing your intuition. You have to consider all these things when it comes to relationship, when it comes to the people you are friends with, when it comes to the people you are in a relationship, and the people you are even planning to marry. You also talk about red flags. Red flags are red flags, and there is nothing you can do about red flags unless the person wants to change himself to green lights. Well, if you've joined us, this has been another yet exciting episode of Gen Z Diaries, where we talk about things I wish I knew before I turned 30. Whilst I'm sitting here, I've learned a lot. I'm not yet up to 30, but I think I've learned a lot when it comes to the maturity, when it comes to the relationship. Thank you guys for joining us, and see you in another episode.